So now you almost gotta pick a side, because no girl as a child, a little girl as a child, does not say, when I grow up, I want to have men pay me for sex. No child, no daughter grows up like that. Circumstances create that. And usually those circumstances come from either being molested, either being hustled, either being pimped, or lied to, or drugs. And all of those four things come from some man doing it to that woman. And then that woman devalues herself less and less and less and less and less. And then she accepts it. So no woman grows up, no daughter grows up wanting to be a whore. Life has a way of doing that to them, to where that's all they accept. You got men that are predators that go out to these high schools, or say find a girl that maybe be a runaway or something like that, and then they talk to them like, hey man, I could take care of you, I love you, I do that. And then now they're seduced into a lifestyle to where they believe that's their only out. So if we're talking about why do men are looked at as bad, is because whether you pay for it or not, you're in the position of power. When you brought up the grass and stuff like that, now this weather's changing, so I got this grass outside. I'm not about to cut that grass. That's not my gift. So I'm gonna go and find who's good at the yard work. Now I don't watch them. I'm not one of those that got to watch them while they do the work. I'm gonna pay them. They're gonna go ahead and do the work, and they do a really good job at doing their work. But that's what you call a honest or respectable profession.
Dude, I'm telling you, just do it one time. Go sit out there on the porch, put you some lemonade beside you, pick your feet up, have you one of them hats that go like that, and have a whip in your hand. And just
no, man, shut up, Tommy. I was never the type. I was never the type. I didn't like people watching over me while I work. So I for sure don't want to watch over them while they work.
You have a good time. Just sit there with the whip. Don't whip it at them. Just go. Just whip while they cut the grass.
Even that's so like now that's a crazy ass fetish to want to see that. Now if they was white, maybe I do it. If they was white, maybe I get the slave. Maybe I get the whip out. If they white, let me tell you, if I ever get somebody that's white, maybe I do that. Maybe I'll get my lemonade.
I'm telling you, I've had plenty of white people come work on my house, and I'm telling you, I sit up there and watch them. I talk to them through the camera when they'll be working, and I'll just to let them know I'm looking at you. I'll talk to them the camera and say, "Could you please close that door?" It pisses them off.
They probably be mad as hell. Y'all know. I know they be mad as hell when you do that shit. That got to be crazy, man. I would probably say, "Hey, man, take your money back. Take your money back."
But they don't, because they need that check.
That's abuse.
They get mad, but they do it. They work. I ain't never had nobody say, "You know what? Enough of this." Same thing with prostitutes. I've never had them say, "You know what? Enough of this." Here's why what we.
But I guarantee you, if prostitutes could have another profession, they would have another profession. Yes, they would.
Let me tell you why that's not true.
Okay.
Do you think that these girls who are selling their ass can't do something else? Or do you think they can't make money that quick?
I think the girls that are selling their ass have been trained to believe that's their only way of life.
That's quick money. If you've ever dated, or
I'm not denying the quick money. No, I agree. It's quick money. But when they
just like a drug dealer, he could go work at Walmart and get another profession.
Right. But No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just gonna say, when you make that kind of money once, it's very difficult to go back to something else. People don't understand what that's like. If you eat steak, it's very difficult to go back to hamburger.
Facts. But now that drug dealer, the first time he's selling, I remember the first time when the cat, even that's temptation, even that's predatory. Like when I got into the game of hustling, it was because of the older cats in my neighborhood come and say, "Hey man, just take this up the street. Just take this bag up the street. Don't worry about it. You're gonna take this bag up the street. I'm gonna give you this X amount of money," or something like that. Then after you take the bag, because they give you the money, you think, okay, I just need you to stand on the corner. When this guy come up here, you're just gonna hand this to him. Don't worry, no, that's not a bad thing. We helping. Like they hustle you into thinking that, okay, this is okay. But when you out there the first time doing it, what are you nervous about? You're nervous about getting arrested. You're nervous about getting robbed. You're nervous about all of that. So it's the same thing with a young girl. When that brother or sister, in some cases, is convincing this woman to sell her body for money, and that first time it's the same thing. There's nervousness, it's fear, because a woman don't want to do it. She thinks this is the only option. And I guarantee you, if we talk to 12 12 prostitutes, 11 of them are going to say that they was touched or molested as a child, and that's why they stopped caring about themselves or caring about their body. And not only were they molested as a child, either their parents or nobody cared. It was probably by a relative or something like that, and that's why they didn't care. And so it was very easy. And that's who predators look for, or pimps, or harems, or what do you call a woman? What do they call a woman? The mistress or the madam? What is a woman called?
Yeah, they call it madam.
Yeah, or the madam. That's what they look for. They look for, just like a person that wants to get you to sell drugs, look for a specific type of person. A person that's convincing a woman to sell her body is looking for a specific type of woman to convince to do that.
Now, let me give you another rebuttal to that.
Okay.
I used to do a little pharmaceutical sales. When I did it, I was afraid of getting caught. Yes.
Right.
But I wanted to do it because I saw people doing it and I saw what they got when they did it. So I didn't walk into it saying, I don't want to do it. And nobody had to convince me. I had to tell them, hey, look, I'll do this. I'm ready to get in the game. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. And so I would sit there and I would watch like these women. There's some girls that we've all known them when we were young. It didn't matter what it was. This chick was fast, is what they called her. She liked sucking dick. She used to suck her thumb, suck her pacifier, and every damn thing else. She liked sex. There are things that are called nymphomaniacs. They exist. These people enjoy what they do. There are some women who really get a kick out of fucking people and fuck people for free like that. It's a gang of them. They'll be your wife. I know a few of them where they was your wife and they couldn't stay married because they couldn't stop fucking around. It didn't matter what anybody did. This bitch just liked giving out pussy, and she would give it out for free. You didn't have to pay her. She just fucked. So that being the case, there are some people with skewed mindsets like that. It is the same thing throughout life. There are people who just enjoy stuff that we think are crazy. Serial killers. We think it's crazy. This nigga enjoys killing people. So we got to stop looking at women as if they're constantly being victimized, when there are a lot of women today who are doctors, lawyers, and still doing some shady shit with their body because they like it. Not because somebody forced them, because they like it. There are girls who right now, and I know a few of them, who are in college or got good jobs. I know one that's an accountant. And she says she just likes selling pussy. She gets a kick out of it. It's a rush that niggas is willing to pay her to sleep with her. And she likes sex like that. So she thinks, well, I get this extra money and I get to live. She said, I still make more money doing this. Now, is it right? No. But we do have to acknowledge that we can't keep putting the blame on men for women doing certain things, because it's not true. It wasn't true what happened with Samson. No man touched that woman. That woman was just a deceiver like that. And some of these women are just born that way. We hate it. Some people are born with cancer. Some people are born with shorter legs. Some people are born with all these weird things. When sin came into the world, that came with it.
Yeah, I never make anything absolute. I was only speaking from a power position. So I don't want to make it seem like every woman that's a prostitute has that history. But I guarantee you, majority of them are. A majority of them have. With the Samson thing, now here's the important thing with Samson.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that scripture I read: be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother. His parents told him, "Don't date this heathen woman."
That's right. So they knew. They
knew that what God said would happen to us. What God said would happen to us is that, hold on one second. Hey, Mika, you can just kick that cat out the room. You ain't got to warn him. You can just kick whoever that is that you keep warning. You ain't got to keep warning. You just kick him. That's why I got you as a mind. So when God warned us that when we sleep with these heathens, they're going to turn us away from the Lord. And
Yes.
so because he didn't listen to his parents, and here's how simp now, Samson was a simp. As strong, listen, Samson was bold, he was strong, had all this power and might, but when it came to a woman, he was a simp. Because listen, this woman lied to him like 3 times. She ain't just lied to him once. He telling her all these things that he gonna lose his power if you tie me in ropes, if you tie me in this, if you tie me in that. And his simple act, every time they come and try to kill him, he go crying to her like he's the prototype. Like that's like the first official simp in existence that we have record of.
Adam.
Well,
Adam.
like, okay, right. Adam forgot about Adam. But the reason why I'm saying with Samson, like Samson got to be above Adam because at least Adam, like Adam just made the mistake. Of course, he made the major mistake. But reason why I'm putting Samson above is because Samson just kept going back. Like let's say if you meet a woman or I meet a woman, that woman give us some advice, we listen to that advice. That's the worst advice we could have listened to or whatever. But we never listen to that advice again. You can say, okay, he made the mistake, but he learned from the mistake. Samson didn't even, he got his eyes popped out his fucking sockets. Like they popped his eyes out his sockets and lost all his power and everything because he gave his power to a woman, which is amazing.
He didn't know it was gonna be that kind of. He didn't know it was gonna be that kind of story. He had no idea.
He told her, "Hey Tommy, if your woman asking you what's your power, you keep beating my people up. What's your power?" And then you tell her 3 times what your power is, and she tells her people so that they can come and kill you. Are you gonna tell her what your real power is?
No. Here's what happened. She didn't actually tell him. She would tie him up, and then she would say, "Look, it's the Philistines," and he dumbass would just break apart. Look to where they at, dog. And then she would say, "You lied to me," and then she'd do it again. So
that's what I'm saying.
She was just trying to test to see if it's true. It'd be like girls play with men like that all the time. Now, if she had real niggas show up at his door, that'd been different. But that's not what happened.
Real niggas showed at the door. They tied the nigga up, captured him, cut his eyes out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Once she realized he really was tied up, like it's like what women do to these men when they're like, John Wayne Gacy used to do it to niggas. He would sit up there and tell them boys before he kill them. He'd be like, "I'm gonna show y'all a trick of how to get out of these cuffs." But then when he would get them in the cuffs, and they was like, "What's the trick to get out?" He was like, "You need the key." And it was messed up, but that's how he got him.
Tommy, you got to answer my question. So put yourself in them shoes. If that woman,
hold on 1 second, I'm about to I'll let you go ahead and run it because I think this might be my my people out here doing my house. Hello.
Okay. So now I'm gonna pick up. So now remind you, we talk about the story of Samson. So now what I asked Tommy was if his woman, if anybody has read the story of Samson, his woman asked him what's his strength. Each time she asked him, she sicked her people on him. So I'm just asking Tommy, I'm just asking you, if your woman did that to you 3 times, would you tell her, I'm talking about you, Tommy, would you tell her where your real strength was at?
Look, I don't trust women like that. I don't give them my real anything. I barely give them my real name. But the point behind it is he had fallen for this girl and she was so, white and milky and stringy hair. No, I'm sorry. But she was just beautiful woman.
She was not white and milky and stringy hair.
She was a beautiful woman. And he was like, oh, and I'm telling you, she didn't actually sick the Philistines. She was saying at first, Samson, the Philistines are coming to see if he'd break out. And he kept breaking out. And what she was saying was, why would you lie to me? If you love me, you won't do that. And women do that to men all the damn time. If you love me, you give me the key to your house. I'm not saying I show up at any time. What happened when you don't answer the fucking phone? Bitch, use that key to do it. Exactly what she said she wasn't going to do. Yeah. Men do the same thing too. What do we do? Let me put the head of it in. I'm not going to put all of it in. Yeah.
I don't do that no more. But listen, let me tell you something. What the man is supposed to do is stand on business every time. Every time. You is not supposed to give her your power. Like you give a woman your power, you see. And I'm gonna tell you something. Any man, back on the subject, and most men probably don't like to hear this, but any man paying for it, you're giving your power away when you
Yeah.
pay for pussy. When you
But
pay,
there's some, yeah, and I agree. But when you're dealing with any woman, though, in
Mhm.
a sense, you're giving away your power to that woman. This is why I think it was Paul when he
He
was
said
like
the man have not have power over the woman.
well, I was talking about the one, I don't know if it was Paul exactly, but he said if a man, it'd be better for a man, basically be better for a man
Not
not
to
to get
have a
married
wife, right?
at lust. Yeah, but if lust come
Yeah,
over him,
Paul said
it's
that. Yep.
yeah, it's best for him to do it this way, which is well,
Mhm.
then go ahead and get you a wife, which is
Right.
essentially a prostitute that stay with you the whole time.
No,
But he
that's
said,
not a.
no, listen to what he said. If your lust just come over you and you
That's
can't help it,
crazy. Yeah.
you just get this bitch. This one chick and just skeet in her face. That's basically what he said.
But a marriage bed is undefiled, so whatever y'all doing in that bedroom, that's y'all business. But
Yes, I'm just saying that's what he letting
he
you know, though. You can
no,
sleep with her 7 ways a Sunday. Just do what you want, and it'll keep you out of trouble. Is what he was saying, because like with was it David or Solomon wanting all those women was getting him in
Solomon.
trouble. He was so smart.
Yeah, see now Solomon's problem was he married non-Israelite women. It wasn't the women that it wasn't the women of Israel that was the problem. It was the women that were not Israel that was the problem, because he started letting them worship other gods and stuff like that. But what you're saying about Paul is an important part, because even in that same chapter, he says they that have wives be as though they have none, because the work is more important. Like what you're doing as
That's
far as the
right.
work
See,
sake is more important. So
women make you weak.
thank you. Make you so weak, you think you got to buy it because you're not strong enough to keep them.
But the stronger man is the one. Let me tell you why they're weak.
Okay.
If I'm in the military and I'm off, like Odysseus, when I come home, it's a group of niggas in my house sleeping with my woman. But if I'm not worried about some woman and I sleep as I travel, I'm a portsman. Well, I can do my job because I never fall for anyone. One of the things that makes it hard for gangsters to trust each other is if one of them ain't married. Do you know why? Because they hold your wife and children over you. If you do something, you get out of line, they know you're going to try to handle it right because it's going to fall on them. If you don't have one, it's hard for them to trust you because they know you have the power to be able to just do whatever you want to. You're a free agent. You are not tied to someone. So that's what a wife does. That's what children do.
I
Sorry,
think
but they do.
yeah, this is why, like, this is like one of the reasons why I love the Bible, because like that power, like I can't, you're absolutely right. Not just in the game, but even like cops. Like a good cop is a horrible husband.
Yep.
Good a good if your profession requires you to be away from the house and you're good at it, you're not good in the house. That's any profession. It doesn't matter what it is. And so with what you said about having a wife, they'll kidnap them and stuff like that. All of that stuff is true. But if we talking about just you having the ability to have enough discipline, if I love black men. That's why I always say black men. So if black men had greater, I hope that ain't no pause, right? Me saying I love black men.
Look,
That's not a
I
pause.
listen, RJ, we gotta stop. We gotta stop thinking everything gay. I know what you're saying.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, I'll let that go. So I love black men. So if black men had greater discipline with their dick, prostitutes would not exist amongst us the way that they do. They would not.
Okay, they wouldn't be as proliferated as they are. Yes, but they would still exist because you have to remember, not every man can be an alpha, and there's not as many
Facts.
men on earth as there are women on earth.
That's
And
why
here's
women
the
gotta
thing.
learn to share.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you don't teach this group of selfish people to do that, then you do run into this issue. And a lot of these women are not seeking marriage. Just because you didn't buy pussy from them, you got a kid from them. And they still telling you, like Russell Simmons' daughter, when she got pregnant by a random man, and they said, "Are you gonna get married?" She said, "Oh, that's a big step." Look
Mhm.
at Floyd Mayweather's daughter.
Right.
They asked
Right.
her when she got pregnant, "You gonna get married?" No, that's a big step. So all these women, they're not getting paid. They're actually
Mhm.
laying down with men, having children, and still foregoing the idea of a marriage. They don't
Right.
see themselves, or they don't see themselves married, and they don't see the value in marriage. So you'd have to change the mindset of each person. If the woman you with doesn't see the value of marriage, then why wouldn't she see herself as a free agent / whore?
So now I agree with that with the value, and I'm just gonna up the ante. Like for us, sex is marriage. Now tell that to black people. We the most promiscuous. Like, I don't want to say we the most because there ain't a greater whore on the planet than the white woman. That's the greatest whore.
That's right.
That is.
Great. I mean, you're right. She's
Yeah.
great.
Stop.
You said
wait, nah. There's a way that I said it.
Hey, y'all see what he doing? He trying to run away from his own words. The
way that I said it, and the way that Tom, y'all know it's a difference. The audience knows
it. I just repeated what you said. She's the greatest.
Y'all love this nigga Tommy. Tommy, yeah, she's great. She's great. We did not say it the same way. When I'm saying that, like I remember I put up this video. I ain't taking it back. I'm standing right on it. The white woman is the greatest whore. Like she's the original whore. Like there ain't nobody that whore themselves. And that also, just think about it. I was thinking about when Marilyn Monroe, who was a whore, sleeping with the president, but they let her sing. They let a whore sing to the president. That's how much America loves whores.
Hey, she got killed for that.
Well, I ain't gonna say she's.
Yes, she did. The dead ass.
No, I was about to say she should have that, but I ain't want to say that on the air, but I just said it on the air.
And it was
that's the judgment.
It was how she was singing it with her nasty ass. You got this woman in there with her kids, and you got that talking about some happy birthday to you. That bitch, Kennedy was up there like this.
Hey, that's
how your wife be looking at you with this random bitch get up there singing to you like this.
You know, it's an ugly lesson that teaches, though. What that teaches America is that you can treat the whore better than the wife.
No, he didn't. This woman is dead.
No. Wait, no. Well, the judgment for being a whore is death. That's the judgment.
Well, she got it.
But what I'm saying is the fact that JFK and Robert F. K and all of them allowed her to do that in front of their wives, that teaches like, I can love whores. I ain't got to care. Just think about that movie.
This whore knew her place. A lot of us think the whore know her place. It's like when the whore call your wife on Thanksgiving, talk about some, your husband was with me yesterday. This whore don't know her place.
Now, and you go further with the white woman. That movie, Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts, was a horrible lesson for women.
That whore got married.
But this is what I'm saying. So imagine the lesson they teaching the women. You can be a whore and still get married. That's the lesson they teaching. This is Richard Gere, which goes right back. If you think about it, it goes right back to what we're talking about, a man in power. So Kai is the popular one, and he's getting more flack as opposed to the woman that's doing it. He's getting more flack. He's getting more shame. And that movie, Pretty Woman, Richard Gere was a man of power too. And instead of
remember, he got no flack because he made her into a woman, and they loved him because he made her. Even the words we have make her an honest woman. So we put too much pressure on this man to sit up there and help wipe this whore slate clean. The black community is full of wiping whore slate clean. That's why these women, let's just say they're not selling pussy. These bitches are bringing children to your marriage and your relationship. They bringing a bunch of dudes they done slept with to your relationship. And now I'm supposed to wipe this woman and make her an honest woman? She should have been honest before she came to me.
But wait. But okay, so there's two things you're saying. In one breath, you're saying Richard Gere takes Melissa Roberts, I guess that's Julia Roberts, and turns a whore into a housewife. That's what that movie teaches. That movie teaches you can turn a whore into a housewife. When we all know in the community, you turn a whore into a housewife. You just got finished saying, you married this woman, I'm doing all this and XYZ, and you married her. But that movie teaches to turn that whore into a housewife.
But black men weren't watching that movie, and they were been turning whores to housewives.
Yeah, you know who wasn't watching? You know who wasn't watching?
That I hate black women because I told the truth. There's nothing I've said that's not true.
What is what we
Yeah,
talk
there's
about
a
have to
lot
do
of
with
single
hating
mothers
black?
in the community, and these men still date them with children and all. So that means we're being told that we should cherish whores. Like there's nothing we don't. They don't even get
We
backlash
all taught
for
that,
having
right?
children.
I don't see the hatred for black women on the subject that we talk about. It's a real subject, and here's why. When you said that black men didn't watch it, you're right. But you know who did watch it? Women watched it. Black women
Yes,
and black women watching that and like, yeah.
they want
So
to be white.
if I bingo. That's why I said the white woman is the greatest whore, and black women emulating that whore also plays a
That's why
part.
I said she's the greatest. Because if she wasn't the greatest, black women wouldn't want to emulate it. You want to emulate greatness.
Right. Now again, we on a subject. Oh, that's a good one, Tommy. That was a good. Let me see if I got it. Let me see if I got a bomb. Let me see if I got a noise or something like that. That was a good one. That was a good one. But
If
she's
it
the
wasn't great,
greatest.
they would emulate
But
it.
that greatest is so wicked to where
Yes.
a black woman chasing that is why she's not even respected.
Think about it. That's why the way that we both said it, we both were correct.
Right.
Same word, just the way you emphasized it
Exactly.
made it true on both ends.
Exactly. And so now imagine if black women didn't watch these movies or didn't get influenced like that, didn't have us with who we look at as the greatest. You know, black men look at white men as the greatest. So now you got the black man and the black woman looking up to these white folk as the greatest, and we emulate that, and then not realizing the ramifications that comes within our community and how we treat each other, how we talk to each other, how we act to each other, as opposed to if we got to our own culture, it wouldn't be like that. And that's the point. And these conversations, I'll be glad sometimes when Tommy be highlighting these niggas that say shit in the chat. So I'll be glad sometimes because like these type of conversations should be had. It's like the greatest. You said in that interview with the white woman, you mentioned something like barbershop talk. And this is something similar to where you got two brothers on opposite sides of the spectrum. The way he said white woman is the greatest, the way I said white woman is the greatest are different, but the same in perspective. And then now at the end of it, we say if we didn't emulate this white man and white woman, who got a problem with that? I just want to know who got a problem with that.